Hello everybody, welcome back. We're going to do Cutcliffe number 6, the first of the wing option patterns and how to tie the wing. There's no directions, no pictures. So I went to Soltau, another Devon angler from 1847, who has no recipes, no directions, but pictures. So here we have some pictures of winged flies, and they're clearly divided wings. Slips or folded, don't know. But I went to Henry Wade Halcyon, 1861, and I found instructions on how to do a folded split wing. So that's what we're going to do. I don't know if that's the correct way. So primrose silk, and this has a gold oval twist, gold twist. The wing is from Pheasant, and that's a primary. And the body dubbing is a mix of brown cow and squirrel. And the squirrel that would have been used in the UK at this time is their native species, a red squirrel. So it has a reddish color, and these are squirrel tips mixed in there. So we're going to begin a little bit behind the head here, and again following Wade's instructions here from Halcyon. 1861 is that book. So it says to take the slip and to square the tips out and sort of remarry the feather together as best you can, and then you're going to pull it off sharp, keeping those root ends that were attached to the quill together, and again straightening it out, evening up those tips, and having that root end of the quill there helps hold everything together, so when you do the fold you can fold it in half. And then we're going to tie it on typical wet fly situation here. So pinch wrap and holding the feather side, not the root side, as tight as you can, and bind it there. I went one behind and over the top. That just really locks it in on top. That was not part of Henry Wade's, but that's just something I do. And then you're able to really grasp those root ends and cut it very close. And then you want to split the wing, even though it's folded. Now you're going to divide it, and you're going to do X wraps in between the two wings to divide them, and then wraps behind to raise them, lift them, and then I'm just doing another X wrap here to divide them, and some more right behind to lift those wings up. And then you go back, and I'm going to wind back, and on my way down towards the bend of the hook I'm going to catch in this gold twist. Thread is well waxed. Now again, Cutcliffe doesn't really, and I'm waxing again before I do the dubbing, Cutcliffe doesn't explain how to tie the winged flies, and he also doesn't explain whether it's up or not, and divided. There's kind of almost no commentary. The only commentary really about winged flies in the book is that he's not a big fan of them, and doesn't find them necessary, particularly on rapid streams, and much prefers just the hackled fly. He does understand that some anglers are going to, because they come from other places and just have other experience with winged flies, not feel comfortable with the hackled fly. So to help those people out and to make them feel comfortable fishing in Devon, he does suggest some winged patterns, and so that's the reason for the winged flies in there, but he's not personally a really big fan of them. So I think that's why he doesn't dwell on how they're tied. They're sort of tied in the typical way in which they would be tied in other parts of England as well. So it's hard to say whether it's slips, because slips were done at this time, or folded. I think we can be pretty clear that they were divided, probably upright. So I'm going with that Halcyon way here, but we'll do a different method. There are several other wing patterns throughout, so I'll do some different methods, and then you can kind of be the judge as to what you want. I'm just adding a little bit more dubbing here because there's no hackle in this pattern. This is wing or hackle. He for those that are willing to do and trust him and do the hackled version of this fly, he has the hackled option, which we'll tie in just a second. But the winged fly does not have hackle in this particular case. So that dubbing, particularly the cow, which is very long and spiky, is going to be the legs. So I'm going to whip finish here. Finish this fly off. Cut it off. Snip, snip. Just getting the super long hairs cut off. And then we're going to give you a little 360 here. I'm going to brush it out to pull those legs out, and then we'll do the hackled version really quickly. So there's a close-up of the winged fly completed, and now super fast. This is very sped up because at this point you're kind of familiar with the method. We're going to do this, the hackled version of this fly super quick. So just tying in the silk, wrapping the twist in, dub body with that same dubbing mix. This is the same fly, just a hackled version. Get up to the shoulder, doubled feather here, and this is going to be a bluish red feather. This is Cuello, so this is a neck feather from Gallo de Leon, and it has a mix of dun and like a reddish rust, and then I'm wrapping the twist up all the way through the thorax, cutting that off. This hackle's doubled. I'm going to, with open turns through the thorax, through the dub thorax, and then to the head of the fly, do 3 wraps, tie it off, make a head, cut it off, whip finish, and that's the fly. And here are the two together. That's all. Thank you so much. Take care.